To enter a piece of jewelry, simply go to jewelry entry. The jewelry entry, and we're gonna enter a semi-mount engagement ring. Okay, so once we come into the screen, we have a record number and SKU number. You leave alone, you don't touch that, it's generated by the computer. We also have here in the option to select auto increment store style number. Okay, so we select the group, right? So let's say we're going to be putting in a ring, and it puts in an R with a number, the next number for ring. Then we're going to say it's an engagement ring and a semi-mount. Again, and you can control all these by going into the maintenance and setting up groups, category and subcategory. Then we select the metal, let's say it's 18 karat white, how much it weighs, let's say it weighs 12 either pennyweight or grams. So now we can also put in the cost per gram if you want to build a bill of material. So let's say it costs us 50 bucks per gram. Then when you click out, it'll do the total here for the metal. But if you're buying this piece finished, then you don't want to put in the cost, because you're buying it in one total sum. So you can still say that it's 12 grams because we can print that on a tag, but you put here a 0. I'm just going to leave this for now the way it is. The vendor who you bought it from, although we do this from the purchasing. Okay, I'm just going to put myself, vendor style number, in case you want to ever reorder this piece. And then we also have jewel expenses, basically anything that isn't part of the jewelry. For example, box. Let's say I want $5 for the box, and I say OK, and that $5 comes here and adds it to the total. So right now you can see we have the 600 for the metal, and the box was $5, so the total cost right now is at 605. Okay. In the quantity, on memo, sold, on hand, we don't touch that. Okay. But if we have, let's say, 5 of these pieces, we can just put in quantity 5. Okay. So if you remember, in the setup, we also, in the jewel attribute setup, we also have custom fields. These are fields that you can customize to your own needs to do whatever you want. So you can name it. In other words, you can come here and name it here, save it, and then you can create the drop downs for each field. Okay, so and obviously save it. Okay, so you have 4. Right now we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 selected, and you have 12 of these to put in this area right here. Okay, so you can customize 12 different fields according to whatever it is that you want to do. For example, if you have collections and you want to say it's an antique, it's Edwardian, Victorian, anything at all that you desire to create a drop down for, or you can even type it in and it'll save. Okay, so description is anything that you want to say about this piece of jewelry that isn't covered by anything, any of the other fields. And this can also go into the memo and invoice as an option, and also to a website. So this would be the view description on your item on your own website. The short description will be the title of the thumbnail on your own website. If you don't have a website, you can use these whatever you want. But this is the purpose for these fields right here. Notes stays here. Notes for yourself, doesn't really go anywhere. And short description is another description that can go on your website. Some websites, on the view of the screen of the item, they have a description on top, and then the image, then they have a description below the image. So that's what this is for. But you can do whatever you want really with this if you're not using that. Now we come into selecting the stone that you want to put in here. Okay, so let's say you have a semi-mount here and you want to take an important stone from your inventory and put it in here. So you just click on the stone field, it brings a drop down, you click on it and you select the stone. Let's say it's okay, this one, you say okay. No, okay, I picked the wrong stone. Not enough carrots in that stone. Okay. Tried to. Okay, well, it went in anyway. But anyway, so it goes in like this. Now let me pick a different stone. This is not a good stone. Okay, so let me get this one. It's a GIA stone. Let me say okay. It'll go here, and it'll bring in the certificate and all the attributes, whatever you have in that stone in your inventory. And you can say it's a center stone. And now your total becomes 600 plus 7,394.40 plus the $5 you put for a box, and your grand total of your cost is here. Okay, then you can also put in the side stones manually. So if you say, listen, I want to put in side stones diamonds, I can put in, if I double click, it'll bring a drop down, right? So I can put round stones here, and put the color, clarity, etc. And I can put that I have 6 stones. This is also the labor for it, which we'll go over in a second. And I'm going to say that they weigh 48 points, and they cost me $450. Okay, so now my total cost is $8,215.40. Okay, and this is the cost code that is generated. We leave out the pennies in the code, but it's there. Okay, now labor cost, by the way, if you're building this piece like I'm doing right now, you can select here the labor. You can just put in the labor, you know, it costs you $25, end of story. Or you can itemize the labor itself. So let's say you go here and you say, I'm setting, I have 30 cents per stone in setting, and I have 6 stones, so it's $1.80. And then I have polishing, 1, it's $5. So right now I add the whole thing when I say okay, and I can keep on going ad nauseum, as I can add as much as I want of anything into the labor. And when I'm done, I say okay, and that $6 goes into the cost of labor, $6.80. Okay. So now my total cost has changed. We have here current cost. Okay, current cost, if you buy this piece finished and you don't care about the breaking down the cost on individual components, you just put in the cost, total cost here. But you can still say that you have this stone, but the cost can be 0 here and 0 here. You're zeroed out, but you can still have the information of what diamonds are in this piece, or gems also. You can select gems also into this piece, but without cost, because your cost is already included in the current cost. And you put the current cost in total cost, because this is an accumulating a calculating field for all of the above separate costs. Okay, so now we have a cost of 8,000 and change, and we have now two things. We have a sell price and tag price. So in the sell price, we want to mark it up, let's say 50%. The sell price is what you put on the memo or invoice. Okay, this is what you want to sell it for. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put here 50% markup. When I click out, it'll give you the number. So this number here is 50% above your cost. And the tag price, you want to put 5 times your cost. So you put here 400 because 1 is already here. Okay, so you put 400. When you click out, it'll multiply this number by 5. Again, 1 is already here, and you're adding 4 more, and this is what we'll print on the tag. And size width is finger size, so you can say 6, whatever. I mean, the size can be for a chain 18 inches, a bracelet 7 inches, etc. Okay. All right, mounting cell. This is a mounting cell without the center stone. Will be this at 50% up, right? Because the stones makes it more expensive. In other words, more of a total cost in here. Okay, and here you can see the profit, and we can hide the profit by user as well when we set up users. Okay. Now on here we have the stone image. If this stone had a picture, it will come in here, the center stone. In the jewelry certificate, if you certify this piece of jewelry, the jewelry itself as a whole, as a piece of jewelry, you can scan in and upload the item in here. You just simply go upload, right? And you go browse, select the item from wherever it is, and just load it into the jewelry certificate. You'll see it on that screen, and you will see it here. So when you click here, you will see the jewelry certificate, and from here you can email it, etc. Okay. In-house locations is where I don't have any location set up, but you can set it up in here. In other words, the in-house location is where is that piece in your location. So it could be in showcase, it can be in a safe, it can be wherever you have locations, but it's strictly for your own in-house locations where that piece is. And we're not talking about if it's on memo or it's sold. Obviously it's not going to be there anymore. So it tells you that that piece is sold over here, quantity. It's on how many is on memo, how much is billed, and committed. We don't have to go over right now. And on hand quantity. Once we save, it'll say here 1. We'll just take that number into here. Okay. I'm going to skip these functions right here, right now. But then we got to go and add an image. Okay, so we have 4 images per item. And basically, I'm on image 1. I can go to upload. Again, I go to the browse section, and I can go into my desktop and grab this image, open it. Let's open this up a little bit. Upload, and that image goes there. And this image, by the way, can go onto a memo and invoice when you create with images, etc. And here you can also add, okay, so again, you can add 4 images. So if you want to put different views, you can do that. And here you can also upload a video. Okay, you can either put in, you can choose a video from a file, or you can, if you load it into YouTube, you can just copy the URL and save it, and it'll play it here from YouTube. And when we send an email to a customer, because we can send an email to a customer from here, see, it will send a link of the video to play it off our server. So your customer will get a link in the email with all the messages that you've entered here for that piece. There's other ways of sending it to your client as well. So here you see on the bottom, you see total, how many stones you have and the total weight of both. If you have gems, it'll have it here, and the center stone weight is here. And we also indicate the center stone by checking it. Okay, and later on in another video we will set up the tag. Okay, so all this information that we've just entered could be printed on the tag as well. Okay, so from this, once we're done, obviously we need to save it. Okay, so the item is saved. Okay, and we're gonna go over many of these things, but right now there's also a product sheet. Okay, a product sheet is just yeah, I'm gonna just say okay, and you will see a sheet of everything that we've entered, which you can print and put it in a book. It gives you all the breakdowns of that piece. Okay, this little interface here allows you to mark up metal. Let's say if you're giving it to a client, you know, if you want to give them a product sheet with markups, this allows you to mark up different components of the product sheet so you can print it and send it to them. By the way, this video came in. Alright, so again, so you can email that video, and when your client gets it, he'll get it like this. So he will be able to see the video like that. It's a little slow here because it's just loading on my but anyway, you will see the video. He can see the video that big in his email. Okay, so that's what we have now for jewelry. Again, we can email from here, we can add to memo and invoice from here. Okay, we can rename the piece if we want to change it. We can print tags, we can print labels. All this will cover in future videos.